Hi, this is Tech Green's Boundary, where I do predictions of the future. If you'd like me to do a prediction for you, let me know in the comments below. Just a reminder that we have show times throughout the week. Make sure you check out secondreadsbyandre.com, where we have that schedule up for everybody and where to go and when and all that wonderful stuff. So check out the website for more information on when and where, especially that Rumble on the Saturday. Link is in the description down below. Let's get started with today's show. And it is the Solana. And we got another question for today as the party balloons go by about Solana, or something built on top of Solana. So the question is, will Solana make you rich? Okay, well, there's a lot of good fans out there about Solana. And even though it has all these situations that happen on top of its blockchain, okay, and I'm going to do double quotations, blockchain, which crashes all the time, and they got to reset it. It just kind of tells you that it's not decentralized. But with that aside, let's have a look at the cards and see if Solana will make anybody rich. Okay. Okay, so the health of this particular question is the health of it is not the greatest. I think it'll do okay over time, but I'm thinking that it's not going to be making most people the most amount of money as they're expecting. I think that money's going to be going elsewhere. Okay. Lots of people love the Solana. They're going to get in there. But the health of it and the price just tells me that something is going to be happening in the next little while with Solana moving forward, where I think it's more of a mechanical programming thing behind the scenes that's going to be taking the price down again. Even now there's rabid fans out there, and the last card is about the people that are involved with this particular project. Just can't get enough of that Solana because they say it's the Ethereum killer and it's this and it's that and all that sort of thing. Even though it's not decentralized for your protection, okay? And it keeps collapsing, and they got to reboot that should be giving you an indicator to stay away. Now, if something like this happened with Ethereum, which it did a long time ago, there would be bloody murder in the street. You know, people, oh, Ethereum is done. It collapsed. They had to reset the blockchain and all that sort of thing, which did happen. This is why you have Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, because they decided to roll back the blockchain a while back. Okay, if you remember your history, and the amount of speculation in the comments that were coming out at that particular time about Ethereum doing that, you thought it would be the apocalypse. The end times are here because Ethereum rolled back their blockchain, and now we have that fork. Right? And I think that was the first fork that I was aware of back in the day. But now Solana does that on a regular basis, and nobody even bats an eyelash. So getting back to the cards and basically what I'm picking up, I don't think it'll make you rich in the short term. It's not a long-term thing. I don't think it's going to be having a long lifespan because of its technical issues. Okay? And we're going to get into another thing, another token that's built on top of Solana, which is worrisome as well. It was a question from the Discord channel. If you're not part of our Discord, make sure you go down there and join up. It's free to join, and lots of fun things going on there. So will it make you rich? yes, for the short time if you know what you're doing and know when to pull out. Okay, but I'm having this distinct feeling that once everything starts to roll into the bigger bull run, okay, something technical is going to go wrong, and people are going to get spooked, and they're going to be pulling their money out of that quick, very, very quick. Okay, so just keep that in mind as we move along. Okay, let's get into the next thing, which is Energy Web Token, and we've talked about this at length. Somebody in the comment section of the YouTube channel wants to know more about Energy Web Token, and I decided let's do a 2-year look at what the Energy Web Token is going to be looking like for that next 2-year period, which is going to be very interesting moving forward, because I think a lot of the industry, the cryptocurrency financial industry, is going to be changing a lot in that period of time. So let's have a look at what Energy Web Token is going to look like in the next 2 years. Okay, instead of what it's doing right now, which is most of the readings that I've done on it. As the dogs bark from the neighbor. So the health of Energy Web Token, I think, is going to be okay. They're going to be hanging on by a thread for the next little while. I think they're going to be having some situations happening around with them. There's going to be an indicator that the price is not really going to be charging up in the next 2 years as everybody expected it to be. Don't get me wrong, it will go up, but not to its full potential. Okay, because there's just this feeling that I'm getting that most of the cryptocurrency market is going to be disappearing or being changed in the next 2 years because of the elites taking more and more control of the cryptocurrency market. And if it's not one of their favorite coins, they may be thrown out with the throw out the water with the baby, right? The bath water. And I think a lot of people are going to be very discouraged with this particular project moving forward in that 2-year period because of a lot of things going on behind the scenes that are going to be transpiring to the public eye that won't be appetizing to the majority of people. For the moment, though, you can make some pretty good money if you know what you're doing with this particular cryptocurrency, but it's only a short-term thing. It's not a long-term cryptocurrency that you want to base your retirement on, let's say. Okay, so let's look at the next thing. A lot of people will be angry with what I just said. XRP was another thing that was in my questions on YouTube. So let's have a look at that. A lot of things are going on with XRP. Not one of my favorites. There's a lot of other people that feel that way, but it's going to be what banking is going to be for the future. So there's a lot of potential of making a lot of money with XRP, even though it represents the worst part of financial stuff. You have to remember, I used to be learning to be a financial advisor back in 2008. So I kind of know how the banking system, that's chapter 1 in your book, how the banking system works. Once you read that and you start to understand it, it's not happy times when you're reading that sort of thing, unless you have no morals. Okay, so let's have a look at XRP. I'm not saying the people who enjoy XRP have no morals, but it is going to be a really good way of making a lot of money for the next little while. Okay. So as we have this whole thing unfolding with the BlackRock, the ETFs, the thing with Binance, and we're starting to see that the system that I saw a long time ago and Bitcoin Ben was seeing or told us all, because he got that wonderful phone call many years ago, of what the new system is going to look like, and XRP is going to be playing a major part of that system. Okay, it will no longer be the freedom and the cowboys and all that sort of thing in the cryptocurrency world. It's going to be all controlled by a central entity. Okay, but with that said, health of it is going to be doing very, very well. You could be making enough money. I don't think it's going to be doing as amazing as a lot of people out there are saying. You're going to be making $4 or $5 in the next bull run with XRP, which is still not bad. It's being 90 cents Canadian right now. So if you bought a little stash of XRP, you got to do pretty good in the next bull run. So $2 to $5 Canadian in the next bull run is not a bad thing. Okay. That's a rough estimate I'm picking up. And the people behind this particular situation are okay, but they have to follow the rules, and a lot of those rules are not good for the people. Okay, but I believe XRP is going to be doing very, very well for a very long time. Okay, so let's have a look at the next one. Now, this is the one that somebody in my Discord channel, it was Marlon, who's a regular here on the channel, was asking about PYTH coin versus Chainlink. Now, PYTH is built on top of Solana. Now, it's going to be an oracle coin which connects everything and allows many of the cryptocurrencies to talk to one another. And they're saying that it's the Chainlink killer. Okay? But with what I had said in the beginning of the show, it being built on top of Solana, if something happens to Solana, you see what I'm getting at. Okay? But let's throw some cards down. Let's see how it's going to do. Will it beat out Chainlink? I don't think so, but let's have a look. There's some good points and some bad points with both of the cryptocurrencies. But let's have a look at PYTH. I think it's like a Python symbol that they have. Health-wise, I don't think they're going to be doing very well for the next little while because of their relation to Solana, even though it is connected to many of the other cryptocurrency platforms out there. But I think that'll be kind of the ball and chain on their ankle. So if it goes down, I'm believing this will probably go down as well. But for the short term, you're going to be making pretty good money because there's a lot of excitement. It's brand new. It's shiny. Everybody is excited about it. I'm always, when I see their logo is we're better than Chainlink. You got a big boots to fill there. But for the short term, and if you're into the trading, yes, short-term trading, I think would be doing pretty good. Not financial advice, of course. And the people behind this particular situation think they got it all, but I think they made the wrong partnership with Solana. But for the short term, not too bad. For the long term, no. And it's, of course, it's not the chosen one from the big money. You have to remember BlackRock and all the Grayscale and all that are buying the Chainlink. But let's get into the next one. We're getting into the chat. Okay. Batman asks, what will give the best return, Gala or VAT? Jeez. That's a tough one. I think they're fairly close. It'd be like difference of millimeters. If you ask like Gala versus Bitcoin, well, that'd be a different story. Well, let's have a look. Gala. First line of cards will be Gala. And then the next one will be Vet, which we did in the last show, is going to be having some situations that are going to be happening with it. And they've been kind of quiet for the last little while, which is not uncommon for a blockchain and the people working on it. But I'm picking up they're probably working on something and not telling anybody about it. This does happen. But let's have a look. I'm thinking Gala or Vet will be marginally better than Gala. Not by much. Okay, so if you have to choose between one or the other, it would go to Vet. A little bit of a reading on what's happening with Gala at the moment. The health of it's doing pretty good. Money-wise, it's not doing all that well at the moment. Okay, for the short term. Lots of new development and all that sort of thing in the background that we're going to be finding out as soon as we get into the bigger bull run. Many cryptocurrency players do that. They save everything and then they release it as we're going through a bull run. For the Vet, I'm thinking they're pretty good overall. They're going to be making some better money in the next little while as soon as they talk to somebody and not be so silent. And I think they're pretty much ready to release some new things for the Vet, which gets everybody excited and doing all kinds of wonderful things on top of the blockchain. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. What will give the best return, Shiba Inu or SEC? Both have been well, SEC has been all over the place. Shiba Inu has been kind of quiet. Doesn't mean they're out of the game yet. Don't get both if you want. That's what I'd do. Shiba Inu just slightly, a little bit better than ZEC if you only had the choice between the two, because I think there's going to be a whole bunch of things that are going to be released with Shiba Inu in the next little while, which will get everybody excited and all that wonderful stuff, and things are going to start to flow again in the next year. For ZEC, I think they're going to be having some situations in the near future. I don't think it's technical stuff, but I think it's gossip and news and that sort of thing. So something's going to be happening with ZEC in the next little while. Even though the blockchain may be pristine and pretty and shiny and new, if they get any negative, toxic news or anything like that, that can really affect the blockchain moving forward. And I think something like that is going to be happening with them very, very soon. So everybody's going to get that knee-jerk reaction to run away for a little bit. Okay, hopefully that answers your question. What overall market cap do you see by the end of this crypto bull market? 6 trillion, 7 trillion, or 8 trillion? And when? Doesn't really matter, but I'm picking up more 7 trillion-ish in there. How about you? 3 numbers.
8 looks nice.
8 looks nice?
Yeah.
Okay. I was kind of leaning towards 8, but I thought I'd go down the middle. 2025, more in that things are going to be changing considerably in the next little while. Okay, we may bypass this number in a big way as the thumb up goes up above my head. Pay attention to all the moving parts. Everybody's doing this, right? They're not looking at the bigger picture of what's going to be happening when the ETFs go off and when all the exchanges get captured by the big money and run by the big money. You better believe things are going to be changing, and it's going to be changing into that system that we discussed previously. Okay? So hopefully that answers your question. Hi, guys. I had a dream where I remember seeing ETH at 2223 USD. Maybe it will go up there in a few days. What do the cards say about that? Oh, ETH. Yeah, I guess it's about 2,000 something in American money. Canadian money is like 2,500. Not quite for the next couple of days. I think it's going to be a little longer. They're going through some situations in the ETH camp because there's a whole huge segment of people that dislike Ethereum. So they give it bad news and bad karma and all that wonderful stuff. And I think that's going to be holding it back for the next little while. I believe ETH is going to be the big winner. Because it is part of the plan, okay, from the big money. That's why they're investing in it. So it might go down for a little bit, but it's going to be going back right up in a big way in the next couple of months, at minimum. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question. Keep getting Ripple emails looking legit about big XRP distribution. I was just watching a news thing on this just prior to the show. Yeah, don't fall for that. Where they're saying the leader of Ripple is giving away money. Don't fall for that. Okay. And I get those for other exchanges, which I don't belong to. Saying your Coinbase exchange application or whatever didn't go through. You should look at this. There's a ton. As the market goes up bigger and bigger and bigger, the bull run, expect to see more and more scam emails and phone calls. I've been getting phone calls too. Be aware. Okay? Keep it in your Trezor wallet. Keep it safe. Keep it in the safe. Keep the words, the 15 words. Keep it in another safe if you can. And just leave it set. Okay? There's going to be a ton of cons out there. So beware. Okay? Thank you for that. Do you pick up when Xchange is going to launch their mainnet? I'm picking up in about 2 years' time. It's going to be coming out with their thing, but it's not going to be what it was expected to be. That happens a lot. Oh, it's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then when it does come out, it's like, eh. Okay. That's the kind of feeling that I'm getting from this. It's okay. And it's going to be within the next 2 years. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. Do you have 4D AI traffic cameras in Canada? Trailing in London so Big Brother can see the behavior of your up and inside your car. Not really here in Canada. Well, at least not in Winnipeg. Could be in probably the bigger city of Toronto or Ottawa that they have that, but they don't have that here. We have speed cameras, but nothing like you have in the UK.
What
Okay.
about those blue lights with the camera?
Blue lights?
Yeah. Certain areas.
Yeah. It's so bad because we don't have enough police here in Winnipeg that they have to monitor certain areas. And at that, it's not that good. Okay. Not to the extent that the UK has. I understand that the UK has cameras everywhere, where Winnipeg doesn't. At least not to that extent. Okay? Thank you for that question.
Batman says, will it continue?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will they make 100,000 or more this bull run from crypto? Well, if you have Bitcoin, then yeah. If you have a quadrillion XRP, maybe. Or some ETH. Ooh. It doesn't look like that's going to be a situation for you. I have the feeling that you're going to be making some money, pretty good money, but not quite to that extent that you have as you have listed down there. Okay, make sure you get that Bitcoin, that Litecoin, that Ethereum, that XRP, the chain link, and that Bitcoin Cash, and then worry about all the little stuff. Okay, hopefully that answers your question. Daisy Chains. I managed to buy the book you told us about spiritual growth. Looks very good. Thank you. So that's a really good read. It's one of the first books that I read that was very what's the word? It explained everything in a good way. Instead of a lot of those books, they just try to sound more complex than it actually is. Okay? Because they want to sound smart. This book, it breaks it down and makes it nice and easy to understand. They're not blowing hot air up your Yahoo. And you can actually develop a lot of your skills through that book. Okay? Hopefully you have a good time with that. How many evolved souls are there on the planet? I don't know really. I'd say about 25% of the entire population of the planet is evolved, because that's usually the ones that don't listen to the government. Normally, it's the vast majority that wears things over their face and gets things in their arm. And on and on and on, which is more of a Saturday show. Hopefully that answers your question. Energy Web Token seem to be connected with BlackRock, Shell, Polkadot, Ripple, Netflix, and many more. Yeah? It was discussed that it's going to be part of the World Economic Forum. A lot of the BlackRock and all that sort of stuff is connected to the World Economic Forum. It's actually on their website. You go to the World Economic Forum website. They don't hide it. It's right there for everybody to read and look at. That this is where this plan is coming from that I keep mentioning. But I'm thinking Energy Web Token is not going to do it as well as something else, because they're going to have some situation that happens with it. Not saying that the programming is horrible. It's just the perception of it and some other things that are going to be going on with it for the next little while that won't be favorable to it. Okay. Yeah, you are absolutely correct. Thank you. What about the mystery possibility illness popping up in China? That would be a Saturday thing to talk about, but they're trying to get it off the ground again, where you're going to be running around wearing things over your face again. I'm picking up that it's not true. Okay. We'll leave that to Saturday. Well, most of the banks stay in the UK. Yes. There's a lot more banks that have gotten on the XRP train. The ones that have not will probably disappear. What you're going to be seeing is a lot of the amalgamation of the banks into the bigger ones. And those are all going to be based on XRP. I think they're getting rid of the idea of the CBDC thing, like the words, because it has a bad flavor for everybody. And they're going to try to put it in there in a nicer way. Remember watching one of the head programmers with Ripple. He goes, yeah, we got the CBDCs on our blockchain, and we won't do anything bad to you. Right. But I think they're going to be okay. Okay? Don't worry too much. Don't have everything in the bank. That's up to you. Don't keep all your eggs in one basket. That's a good word of advice. Okay? Thank you. What do the cards say about Xenify? They sure like these X names. Don't they? That's that new wallet from XRP. Zoom. XUUM. We're having some troubles with that. Overall, I think the health of this particular thing is not bad. It's going to be a short-term thing working into a long-term thing. I think it's going to be changed over time into something a little bit different than what it was initially presented to the people as. I'm thinking it's going to be changed to suit the needs of the public and all that sort of thing. It's not quite there yet. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question. I had a dream of a Monopoly board game with the green houses and the red hotels. What did that mean? Please. Cards on this, please.
3 cards. She meant.
2 cards?
She meant 3 cards.
Oh, 3 cards. Okay. Maybe you're getting into real estate. Or there's going to be some situation that's going to be happening around you that you have to be paying attention to. I think there's going to be some cheaper properties coming towards you in the farther future, not the near future. That will be, it's going to get to that point where BlackRock, even though they've bought just about everything on the planet, there's going to be some places that won't be. You can develop those in a good way. And I'm thinking you're starting to see that whole scenario of the housing market situation that's happening in the UK and around the world. Okay, we are headed towards a bust for the next little while. That's probably what you're thinking of or picking up. So it's probably going to be pretty soon for you guys. Okay? Thank you for that. Why so slow in increase in price for XRP since it is the chosen one? Thanks. Oh, it's been doing okay. Are we in a rush? They haven't flipped the switch yet. That's why. I think they're trying to get control of the cryptocurrency exchanges under their purview. And once that starts to happen, then we're going to see the switch flipped. And not everybody, not all governments are. This is a whole world thing that's going on. Not all of them are on board with this. So it may take some time. Okay? Thank you for that.
That was the last question.
That was the last question. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, make sure to go to secretreadingsbyandre.com where all that information is there. Make sure you join us for the Saturday show on 10 o'clock a.m. Central, where we can talk more about those things you can't talk about on YouTube. That Daisy Chains likes to ask. Of course, that's 10 o'clock a.m. Central on our Rumble channel. If you like a personal healing with my wife, the Reiki Master, that information is also on the website as well. If you like to protect your cryptocurrencies in these crazy times, we also offer the Trezor cold storage wallet for sale on our affiliate page on our website as well. And if you should happen to purchase one from there, we make a little bit of money from that. Okay, with that said, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future. Bye-bye.